Welcome back to If Just for Today. I'm Craig G. I'm your host. Today's If Just for Today is when tomorrow comes, let me start this all over, if just for today. First, I can't believe we're just this is the second to the last one of the If Just for Today series. And I've been so grateful to do these. And just like today's If Just for Today, when tomorrow comes, let me start this all over, if just for today. You know, it's a process. It's been a journey. I can't tell you how grateful I am for this journey. I can't tell you how grateful I am for all of you who've watched this and all of those of you that I hope will watch this in the future, if I'm here or if I'm not here. Gratitude is something that has been a process of me learning, especially over the last 8 years. Um, and I didn't understand for me what gratitude was or is. I have a much better understanding today. Uh, and how does that tie to today's theme? Is because it was a process I had to keep working at very slowly, very, very slowly. Every day I would get up and look for, because again, 8 years ago, I had attitude, I had anger. I was serving a material God instead of a spiritual God. I was serving a false God, and there are many false gods today. And one has, well, I shouldn't say one has to do nothing. One chooses. If one chooses to, one can choose the road, what I believe is enlightenment. And for me, the word God is my journey to enlightenment. Um, I know some may not believe in that, and that's your freedom, that's your choice. I just know the serenity that is brought to my life. I know the serenity of the people that I've been in this journey with, that they have found. Even though the program I'm part of is not a religious program by any means, it is truly a spiritual program. And to be spiritual, you have to believe that there's a God. You can call it what you want. For me, it is God. There's only one creator of the universe. And so when tomorrow comes, because first thing, we don't know tomorrow will come, especially any of us who have had traumas in our lives know that life could be swept out from us in an instant. And I think, at least in my case, having those, call them close calls, that's also helped me to have the gratitude. But again, when I started this, that's not where I came from, because I came from a place of anger. Why me? Why this? Why that? Life ain't easy. And unfortunately, life is not necessarily fair. But that should not want to stop anybody from trying to start today as the first day of the rest of your life. And as the first day, we get a choice. Do you want to be a victim? Or do you want to try to control what you can control? And what I can control, I'm not going to say I can do it easy. I can do it easier. What I get to control today is choices I make. Um, when things aren't going well, I can stop, pause. And that's something I share with many people that I work with, is the concept of pausing. There's this little nanosecond that happens, in my case, of when something's about to erupt. And I have a very tiny window. Today, I'm very grateful. And again, it comes back to gratitude, that I have that sensitivity today. Not always, but I would say most of the time today. Before I had it, none of the time. To be able to have that pause. And during that pause, I get to think. I get to use wisdom. I get to have freedom of choice. I can choose to do nothing, which means I have no control, or I can choose to try to make better decisions. And some real life examples is, if I am talking to somebody and I don't agree with them and they're adamant, well, in my old days, I would want to try to convert them to my beliefs. Well, it's not my place to convert somebody else to my beliefs. It is my place to be foundation solid in my beliefs. And there I get that chance to pause and disengage, not have to argue, not have to fight. And I don't care if it's a family member or a friend or a stranger. You know, for me, do I want to be right or do I want to be happy? There are certain foundation things that I will not veer from. One of those foundations is my belief in God. I am not going to veer from that. And I don't care what position anybody else takes. That's their position. I have mine. But so many other things, they're so inconsequential to the big picture. Do I really want to waste this precious journey on the insanity of stinking thinking? That's what I like to call it. And unfortunately, our country has become a country today filled with stinking thinking. 70 years ago, our country was definitely a country that had a much better foundation, a foundation that was truly rooted in a higher spiritual calling. Today, our country has, for the most part, been tossing that aside for a material gratification. And I don't care, I'm not going to get into the semantics of if it's climate change, if it's this, if it's that, it doesn't matter. They're isms. And I'm making a choice in my life to know what's important to me. And what's important to me is to be humble to my prayers, to my God. There is only one God, the creator of the universe. And for those that feel otherwise, it's your freedom of choice. I totally disagree with it. And I surely don't have to argue. I don't have to engage on it. All I can say is we have 3,500 years of good history. That type of stinking thinking has never worked out for any society. And it's so sad that today, as a society, we want to give up the freedom of choice, the freedom to choose God, the freedom to choose to be better human beings, for um, the freedom to be a victim, the freedom to be indebted to other people. Actually, the whole concept of credit is people are willingly, I'm laughing because it's sad, they're willingly wanting to go into being indentured servants. If you owe more money, now there are a lot of people that I understand can't afford. I'm talking about we all make choices. Um, do you get that Starbucks every day at $5 or whatever the cost it is? In one of the early videos, what was it, over 20 years? I think that number came out to be around $30,000 or $31,000. I don't remember exactly. Those decisions, those choices we make. It's okay if you want to make it. Now, there are a lot of people that can afford that doesn't hurt their wallet. But there are a lot of people that don't even think about this or don't even think about, am I going to go on vacation that I really can't afford? You know? Anyway, I didn't mean to go sideways like this, but this is, if just for today, I'm going to continue to work my program every day because my serenity is more important to me. And I find it so ironic because for me, in my early years, it was all about that material staircase. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to God. Excuse me. That today I'm climbing that spiritual staircase because that is what's brought me serenity in spite of some terrible, terrible hardships I have to live with on a daily basis. But yet I get up every day and I start my journey all over again. In that hour, I get to swim and have solid prayer to God, of gratitude, thanking, gratefulness, to have that time to admit my character defects, ask for forgiveness. If I can't ask for forgiveness, the odds are I'm going to have those character defects and I won't be able to alter them. But if I truly ask for forgiveness, I truly believe. Not only do I believe, I know I am forgiven because otherwise I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be where I'm at today. It's that simple. And then to have in that hour of prayer to pray for all the good people of the world, people that are being subjected to, I don't care if it's by governments, I don't care if it's by family members or strangers or disease, that God have mercy and lead them from their darkness to their path of light. And I truly hope, and for me, I truly believe these, if just for today's, can be a piece of the way of leading one to one's light. Remember, in darkness, you can't see anything, so you're blind. As you get to see light, you get to see what's around. You get to see where your footing is. You get to see if there's a stairway in front of you or a cliff ahead of you. In total darkness, you can't see any of that. Anyway, this is my if just for today for today. I'm so grateful for all of you being here. And I'm going to humbly ask you, if you do like these, please subscribe. Please hit the like button and leave a comment. And most importantly, pass this on to others. We don't know whose life we get to touch. We don't know whose life we get to make a little bit brighter, little bit happier. And that was my whole purpose to do these if just for days, because I do want to share with others what has been shared with me. God bless all of you, and thank you if just for today.